What's going on, guys? This is my 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ. It's we'll call it phase one of the build. It's sitting on 3.5-inch coils in front, 3.5-inch leaf springs in the back that I took a leaf out just because I was riding a bit too hard. It's got 31-inch tires. For a while it was a very good daily driver, and now it's just with the off-roading and daily driving it, and actually got rear-ended a few years ago. It's just needing help. It's been sitting for a while now, actually. It just kind of, the main issue is it's got pretty severe death wobble. So I swapped out track bar, steering components, all that stuff. None of that helped. I actually think the steering box is bad, and it's actually the frame wiggles quite a bit. So there's that problem. The brakes are okay at best. It's actually got a disc swap in the rear, and it was reliable. Now it's kind of not. So we're gonna get started on swapping it out. It's got a Dana 30 in the front and an 8 1/4 in the rear. The Dana 30 got a truss and front and rear. They have 4 88 gears and ARB lockers in hopes of doing some pretty good off-roading. The plan was to go to 35s on these axles, and I just don't think these axles can take it. So we there's a pretty good project in there. It's got 140 something thousand miles on it. It's a pretty clean interior.
It is very clean, Daddy.
That's pretty clean. It needs a car wash though, huh? Yeah, so that's how it sits. It leaks, obviously. It's just time to go a little bit bigger. So we'll get started on it. What's up, guys? So as I'm pretending to have any clue what I'm doing editing this video, I realized I did a very poor job of explaining what the first step of this project is. So the cause of the death wobble is actually not any worn out steering or suspension components. It is actually the frame rails flexing. So before we get into anything else, the first step is to actually weld on JCR's front, mid, and rear frame stiffeners. Now I'm only going to be doing the prep work. I am more of a grinder than a welder, so I am calling in help for the actual welding portion. So step one of this project is actually getting those welded up, and then we can move on with tearing the rest of it down and kind of starting from square one to build this project. Cool. I think that makes more sense than my crappy explanation from before. So yeah, we'll try that. Bye. All right, so I just gave it a spray down with a pressure washer just to kind of get the underneath dirt off. Next step is to start prepping for the frame stiffeners. So in here, they're gonna go back there along the frame down to the lower control arm mount, and then from there it's gonna go along the frame rail all the way back from the lower control arm mount to the front the front leaf spring mount. And then the last one goes, and I'm not sure how well you're gonna be able to see it, goes from the front leaf spring mount all the way back and ties into the hitch mounts. So I think I'm gonna start from the back and work forward. The first step here is going to be the same as most. Jack up the car, put it on some jack stands, and then next is going to be to remove the tires. Now I just got this new Ryobi 18 volt impact wrench, and the takeaway for me from this one is remember to plug in your batteries so that they actually work. Next is going to be to remove the hitch. It was 6 bolts and it came out with a ton of dust. Next up is to test fit the frame stiffeners themselves. First is going to be fit them up, try to get them in the right location. This back one has these bolts for the bump stops to locate them, and then trace out where I need to grind inside and then outside. Take the piece back off and then start grinding away. All right, it's the next day. Last night I got both sides of the back done. I started to do the middle and I'm kind of running out of jack stands because I need to jack up and stabilize the transfer case transmission while I pull the transmission mount / cross member to put the middle frame snifter in. So I think I'm actually going to jump to the front now. I don't think you can weld behind that bump stop tube anyways, so I'm gonna keep the coil on, make it easier. I'm just gonna pull the shock off and the brake line, pull that off the frame and get to grinding. with that done, that wraps up this first portion of the Jeep build. If you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I guess I will see you tomorrow.